We asked Hayato Akeda, CEO of Pictoria Company, Limited, which operates the artificial intelligence tuber Spunen that learns and grows by receiving words on SNS, about the business that combines AI plus VTuber. AI, artificial intelligence, a staple of futuristic science fiction, is finally becoming a reality. Pictoria Company, Limited, to which the famous VTuber Tower Kiseki belongs, produces an artificial intelligence VTuber Spunen that grows by learning words received on Twitter and YouTube. It has become a hot topic for its novelty and uniqueness. Therefore, we ask Mr. Hayato Akeda, Representative Director of Pictoria Incorporated, about the operation of Spunen and what kind of value VTubers using artificial intelligence can provide to society. AI VTuber may be the existence to save Japan with declining population. I don't understand why creates attractive content. In November 2020, AI-based virtual YouTuber Spunen was released. What was the impetus? Mr. Hayato Akeda, honorifics omitted below. As a starting point, we had an AI engineer at our company. I see it as a social experiment. Instead of physical existence like Doraemon or the Terminator, I thought it would be possible if it was a two-dimensional character on the other side of the screen. Is it because your company is the operating company of tubers that you are an IP character instead of Pepper-kun or a cat-shaped serving robot? Arcado, well, I think it's important to generate the feeling of push. I don't think I'll throw money at Pepper or the robot dog. But seeing how VTubers grow makes me want to support them. I think that the point is the experience of pushing life. I don't really understand why the concept of Spunen is slime celium. Arcado, I feel that the ecology of slime molds is a mechanism that is close to AI and the community surrounding AI in the future, and I want Spunen to grow like slime molds. Also, I think that the element of I don't know the reason is absolutely necessary for content. It's more attractive to leave a margin for imagination, rather than room for consideration. It's a little sidetracked by I don't know the reason, but your company is also famous as the office of Tower Kiseki. It was a mystery to make a severed head with Tower Kiseki's crowdfunding, laughs, what was the circumstances behind that? Arcado, it was very simple, and the producer said, yes, I'm going to make a severed head. He has a sense and sensitivity to read, so he really likes VTubers, so he gave a go sign. That kind of ignorance is important for content, isn't it? Going back to the topic, Spunen was born as a 2D pixel art. Why didn't you make a 3D model from the beginning? Arcado, in conclusion, we didn't have enough development costs to create a 3D model, laughs, because it costs money to prepare a number of 3D models and show growth. However, of course, after understanding the goodness of pixel art, I also decided that dots would make it easier to show the growth process. Arcado, I think our advantage lies in being an expert in both the AI and VTuber genres. AI companies don't have the power to figure out what characters are hits or what 3D cuteness is. Conversely, even if a company that specializes in 3D design enters the AI genre, it will likely lack AI know-how. Because we have both of these two abilities, we are able to take on the challenge of being an AI VTuber. This is one of our strengths, and I think it would be quite difficult for anyone other than us. However, in the end, I feel that whether or not I can push this child is important. Artificial intelligence characters that can exist in multiple places at the same time can solve the labor shortage. What kind of value do you think you can deliver to society by using AI as a YouTuber? Arcado, as a social issue, we would like to solve the situation of lack of human resources. Japan's population will continue to decline in the future, and on the other hand, there is a possibility that electronic spaces such as the metaverse will expand. But if there were no people there, the ruins would just swell up, right? It will make you feel lonely. Arcado, yes, even when I was a child, I remember having fun at summer festivals where many people would gather. But now, I feel that the When people gather, energy is born and liveliness comes out. But even if a lot of friendly robots gather, there won't be a human excitement there, right? I thought that by creating a character, many people would gather there and the enthusiasm could be restored. For example, if your favorite idol is stationed in the office, your tension will rise. It will be fun to go to work. Akito, what if my favorite idol, who broadcasts, holds events, and performs live, is at my office or at her home? It's impossible for humans, but with AI characters, it's possible. AI characters belong to everyone and can go to everyone's place. This duality is a concept that also appears in the sci-fi romantic movie Her, which depicts a man who falls in love with a computer's operating system, the latest artificial intelligence type, OS with a personality. Arcado, for example, an attractive child I see on YouTube always talks to me at nursing care sites, or when I go to a rural area where depopulation is progressing, that child guides me around the area. There is only one person in the world, so you can't imitate him. Akito, yes, human idols and VTubers cannot exist in more than one place at the same time. But with AI VTuber, you can solve that problem and expand here and there. To that end, our milestone, intermediate goal, is to create an attractive character that attracts people. Challenge to Web3 area with the project Nen Studio using NFT. I would also like to ask about your new project Nen Studio. Is it part of the Spinning project because it has the name Nen? Arcado, it's defined as an NFT project in which Spunen appears. The reason why we separated the brands is because I think VTubers don't like NFT that much yet. On the other hand, in the area of NFT and Web3, Nen Studio was established as a declaration of intention that we have this kind of character IP, so we will carry out the Web3 project with confidence. There are still many people who do not feel comfortable with NFT, so did you draw a line there? Arcado, as a core fan, I think there are some people who feel sad because the character they've been recommending is NFT. Cryptocurrency. Something's suspicious. Why did you get involved with something like that? It is. But on the contrary, NFT is a new technology that can provide good value depending on the method, so there is no reason not to challenge it. It was necessary to separate the brands in a way that would not betray both parties. What is the specific value created by combining AI VTuber and NFT? Akito, this Nen Studio solves one of the problems of Spunen. The problem is that Spunen is growing day by day, but it is difficult to understand how he has grown. For example, yesterday I said I like 20 and the next day I said something different, I like 20. Increase. There is a problem that it is difficult to understand what is affecting spinning, whether it is learning data or the child's taste. Therefore, by selling the right to set such personalities and tastes as NFT, we can make official settings for AI characters. You can say things like, this girl likes shortcake because I bought it for her. Arcado, that's right, laughs. In today's content industry, if there is no visible growth, people will quickly become bored. Nen Studio will be able to enjoy growth and change more by adding functions that can be set with NFT on the concept of raising AI characters. AI VTuber delivers when Live VTuber is resting. AI VTuber that can complement human activities. Vliver Office Makuraku was established in February 2021. In addition to the human avatar VTuber, are there also AI VTuber visuals? Akito, Makuraku is taking on the challenge of becoming an office that brings together VTubers and AI VTubers. For example, it would be nice if AI VTubers could continue to stream when they weren't streaming, in addition to the time that VTubers were streaming normally. I would like to continue to release various things with the aim of complementing human VTuber activities and supporting things that humans cannot do. Will there be a difference in how human VTubers and artificial intelligence VTubers operate? Arcado, yes, I feel that it is a completely different thing. In the case of humans, it costs a huge amount of money to match the company's thoughts with the direction of what the person wants to do. Still, it's fun to think about how I can support what VTuber kids want to do. That is the rewarding and difficult part of producing a VTuber. What about AI VTubers? Arcado, human VTubers plan what they think is interesting, but in the case of AI VTubers, we have to think about interesting things. They don't act spontaneously, thinking, isn't this interesting? Laughs, the point of view of operations similar to social games comes out, so that is the difficult point of AI VTuber. For example, would you like to regularly hold an event like in a smartphone game? Arcado, yes, creating seasons and updating them. The way I look at my daily KPIs is becoming sophisticational, and it's completely different from human VTubers. Even if you take just one comment column written on YouTube, what kind of comments are there, and what kind of excitement is there among users? I feel that there are some similarities in how the Sausage community is created. What do you think about the future of AI VTubers? Akito, idols will graduate someday, but AI VTubers don't age, so they can continue for the rest of their lives. It's a Web3-like idea, but I'd be happy if a future where AI VTuber fans who are transformed by people who like AI VTubers would grow out of the management one day would come. Lastly, please tell us about your future ambitions. Arcado, as the population of Japan is declining, there are very few fields where we can produce such originality, such as IP content, tourism, and automobiles. Among them, VTuber is a genre that was born in Japan, and if AI VTuber comes out, I think that we can continue to show a global presence, saying, Japan is an amazing country. I always have in my heart the desire to raise the presence of Japan with the content of AI VTuber. But don't get me wrong, I don't have the closed-minded idea that VTubers are a strength of Japanese people, so we shouldn't let the technology flow out of the country. Inevitably, I want AI VTuber to use the Web3 mechanism and aim for Japan to be evaluated.